Hello and welcome to Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. My name is Sierra Artemis, and we are so glad that you chose to share your worship experience with us. If you haven't already, please be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here are your announcements for Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. You can stream our worship services live through our website at bwcar.org or through our Facebook page at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Sundays and 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. For previously recorded sermons, you can tune in on Sundays by way of radio. That's 10 a.m. on WWDM 101.3 FM and 7 p.m. on WFMB, located on 96.1 FM. Don't forget, you can also check us out on YouTube at Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications. Join us for our Children and Youth Day featuring our Wired Youth Ministry and our Children's Church Live Ministry. The theme for our service will be Drip and will be held on Sunday, August 28th. Youth Pastor Antoine Jackson will lead the word with the message, "We will fight, we will win." This service will be at 8 a.m. and again at 11 a.m. and can be attended in person and online at BWCAR1 on Facebook and our website, bwcar.org. We also encourage everyone to donate $20 towards the ministry. Join us for Sunday school lessons each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Our men's classes are held in the A.C. Jackson Wellness Center, the Memorial Chapel for our women, and the Office of Youth Development for our teens ages 13 to 19. For more information, contact Christian ED at bwcar.org. Associate Pastor Willie Mae Jackson would like to thank everyone for their kind thoughts, prayers, gifts, and well wishes on the occasion of her birthday. Family Matters Bridging the Gap Episode 3 featuring the Jackson family will air Tuesday, August 30th at 7 p.m. You can tune in via our website at bwcar.org or on Facebook at BWCAR1. Registration for Session 3 of our Women's Virtual Thursday Night Bible Study is open from now until Wednesday, August 31st, with classes running Thursdays from now until October 27th. These classes will be held via Zoom at 6 p.m. These studies are also led by Associate Pastor Willie Mae Jackson and Senior Elder Kalata Porterfield. September is Young Adult Month at Bible Way Church of Atlas Road, and the theme is Community Unity. Donations of gently used clothing, appliances, and toys to be accepted on Sundays, September 4th and 11th at the A.C. Jackson Wellness Center. This will be after our 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. worship services for an upcoming giveaway. Be sure to stay tuned for more information about upcoming events. The Young Adult Ministry will kick off the month with a Unity Prayer Zoom call. That's Thursday, September 1st. All young adults that love to pray and are in need of prayer are encouraged to join us at 7 p.m. Visit bwcar.org to register for the Zoom link. Young adults will come together for a community stretch. You can join us Saturday, September 3rd for our outdoor yoga with Vinyasa Yoga. This will be from 8 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. across from the Janie R. Jackson's Women's Center. You can bring your mat, towel, and a bottle of water and get ready to stretch it out. Young Adult Christian Education will be held each Sunday in September via Zoom starting at 10 a.m. Join us Sunday, September 4th as Minister Ivan Carter speaks on the YouVersion Bible app plan entitled Church in the Wild. Visit bwcar.org to receive that Zoom link. We invite you to join us for our Family and Friends Day at Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. That's Sunday, September 4th. We also encourage you to invite your family and friends to join us for this special service as Pastor Dale Jackson is preparing a special message. Free food vendors will be available after 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. services. You can dress casual, and in observance of our Family and Friends Day at Bible Way, the Christian Education Sunday School classes will not meet Sunday, September 4th, but will resume Sunday, September 11th. Join us immediately following our 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. worship services for our communion. That's in person or online on Sunday, September 4th. If you're communing with us virtually, please prepare your own sacraments of bread or crackers and juice. Baptism services for Sunday, September 11th will be held in the Worship Center at 10 a.m. All are invited to join us as we return to in-person baptism. New member orientation has resumed, and orientations will be held on Mondays at 6:30. Orientation is open to anyone wishing to become a part of the Bible Way Church family and designed to assist new members on their spiritual journey as we orient them to the Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. Orientations are 3-week sessions and held virtually via Zoom. You can visit us at bwcar.org for more information or email new members at bwcar.org. Well, the senior program will resume in person on September 13th and 14th from 9:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. All seniors are invited to join us for this special fellowship program. You can email Victoria Darby at victoria.darby@midlandsscdc.org for more information. The Janie R. Jackson Women's Center Ruth House is hosting an interactive Zoom session, Teen Glow Up and the Real Me. That's Saturday, September 17th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. All teenage girls are invited to join us on that session, so visit bwcar.org to pre-register for that Zoom link. Pastor Willie Mae Jackson and the BWCAR Women's Ministry, they're seeking team members to join the planning committee for the Women's Month 2023. If you're interested, contact Elder Constance Drakeford at cdrakeford@bwcar.org. The Midlands Community Development Corporation supports the James R. Clark Sickle Cell Foundation's 16th annual walk. That's Saturday, September 10th, and the theme for this year is Shine a Light on Sickle Cell Disease. Now, their registration fee is $25 and includes a commemorative t-shirt. This year's event will be held with both a virtual and in-person option. Registration can be done at strictlyrunning.com. The kickoff for this event is at 7:30 a.m. at 2300 Green Street, Columbia. There are many safe, secure, and easy ways to give to Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. Online giving is available to both members and guests through my connections at bwcar.org. You can choose to give through your bank, checking, debit, or savings account. You can give via our mobile giving app by texting bwcar.org along with your giving amount to 73256. You can mail your check to P.O. Box 90309, Columbia, South Carolina 29290. Please do not mail cash. Financial donations will also be accepted at the church on Tuesdays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Hello, everyone, and praise the Lord. Pastor Jackson and I and the Bible Way family would like to welcome you into our services. Here at Bible Way, our vision statement is to know God, to love, and to serve. We pray, we hope, and we believe that the Word of God and the songs of praise would be a very inspirational to your spirit. We ask you to come back and join us in any of all of our services. And we want to let you know that we are praying that God will bless you and your entire family. Welcome to Bible Way.
We met up with 3 families, spoke to the parents and their children to get a better understanding of their relationships. The goal? To have an open conversation, to see if there's any way they can work together to bridge the gap. On this episode, we'll be focusing on the relationship between the Jacksons. Well, if you're just joining us, we're continuing the conversation of Bridging the Gap, where we sit down with teens and their parents to kind of get a better understanding of their relationship. Joining me today is youth pastor Antoine Jackson and his wife, Minister Courtney Jackson, who's going to kind of share their input about their relationship with their daughter, Kimmy. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations. You guys are welcoming a new child.
Yes.
Yes, so it's going to bring the number up to 4.
Yes.
Wow. And there is a big age gap, right? So Kimmy is how old?
14.
Wow. And how long have you known Kimmy?
Since she was, I want to say 6.
6. So, I mean, you've watched this toddler pretty much grow into the teen that she is now. What changes have you noticed in her since meeting her at 6?
Just really the honest truth about Kimmy. She's really kept that same personality, just outgoing. She loves to be, not in a bad way, but like the center of attention, but in a way that she draws you to her. And so, but I can see the maturity in her as well. So, but she's always been consistent with her personality type. Love to do pretty much whatever she puts her mind to, she can do it and she will get it done.
Awesome. Like I did.
And you guys are a blended family. Yeah. And Twan, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. You have 3 smaller children. How would you describe your parenting from when Kimmy was smaller to how you're parenting with your young ones now?
Well, what I always often tell young adult parents, and I tell our youth here at the Bible Way Church of Atlas Road, is that when I had Kimmy, I consider that my BC moment, my before Christ moment. And when I had Drew, was my oldest, with Courtney, I was saved, I was in the church, at a different headspace. So how I parent Kimmy is night and day compared to how I'm handling Drew, Kennedy, and the new baby that's coming. So I would say with Kimmy, it was grace, a lot of grace that covered both of us because I was, I think, 22 years old when I had Kimmy. Her mama was 19, so she was a teen mom per se. She had just graduated from high school. She was a freshman in college. I had just got out of high school like 2 or 3 years after that, before her, and so it was a lot of trial and error.
Right.
So with Kimmy, it was like, if it wasn't for my parents being that extended family, and as we were talking about the family matters,
Right.
and bridging the gap, that's one thing that that is very important. If I didn't have that support system, that village from my mom, I can remember people would say, "Oh, we know when Kimmy's at church because First Lady tiptoe and go in the back because I wasn't doing no hair." So that's
not doing hair.
Yeah, I'm not doing hair. That's over with. So that was kind of, I would say, a difference between Kimmy's upbringing and now Kennedy. She has a full-time hair stylist. In
Okay,
the house.
okay,
Even
Kennedy.
Drew. Yeah, so-
Give us your stylist number, girl.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's one of the big differences. And like I said, if it was a lot of grace that covered Kimmy, and it was a lot of love, extra love outside that she had to get from everybody to make sure that she grew up to be the young lady she is now.
Okay. Well, just as a comparison, because I know you said that you had a totally different life before you and Courtney were married and you had your other children. Well, what advice would you give to anyone that has a blended family?
Well, I go first and I'll let Courtney answer that, coming from her perspective, because her perspective might be different from mine. I would say first, always know that it's a challenge dealing with a child that is coming into a situation that they have no control over. Right. So Kimmy, I had to make sure certain things, and Courtney is such a good wife, she understood that, like when a Marvel movie come out, Courtney had to sit at home. She couldn't go with it. I had to still have that daddy and daughter time.
You can't catch her up on all that Marvel.
Yeah. No, yeah. She didn't want to go anyway, but still, like, she would have went because, you want to do family outings. But at the end of the day, she understood the importance of letting me and Kimmy have our space,
right.
And have still that time, because it was like she said, she didn't meet Kimmy until she was 6.
Right.
So Kimmy went 6 years essentially like just me and my daddy. Like we were, just me and her, ride or die. We thought it was just going to be us forever. And so now I had to make sure when Courtney came, because the Bible said you're supposed to put your wife first, but I didn't make her feel that she wasn't still first to a certain extent till she was old enough to me to really understand her the proper order of how it's supposed to go. Okay. So that's my perspective, but Courtney might have a different perspective.
Now, comparing your past life and now, when it was just you and Kimmy, you didn't have that in-home family structure, right?
Yeah, correct.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. So I would say then, of course, being a single father, like I said, there's a lot of takeout food. Not doing hairdo. I would take her to get her hair done from stylists. Her mama taught her how to be a girl, but when she was me, I only know how to be a man. So it's like a lot of tomboyish things she got. She was playing basketball. She was wearing Jordans. I wasn't doing no sandals, no skirts. Basketball shorts, t-shirts, and all that. Like she was rough. And then when Courtney came on, she allowed her to flourish as a young girl, as a young woman that she's supposed to be. So I would think that would be another big difference. That me as a man, I don't know how to be a woman. And I didn't even try to pretend how to be a woman. I just knew how to raise her the best way I knew how, and that's, to be a man. And sometimes it came across, like I say, that she was playing basketball until she got wanted to do cheerleading and gymnastics and stuff like that. But I put a ball in her hand because that's all I knew. Yeah.
Now, I know we've gotten Courtney's account of how she describes Kimmy, but how would you describe Kimmy?
I would describe Kimmy as she is a very intelligent young lady. She is very determined. She is very she knows exactly what she wants and when she wants it, and she knows how to achieve it. And she would not like sugarcoat it. Like, for instance, in her middle school class, the teacher was teaching on like slavery and that time period. And they was talking about segregation in that time period. And she was like, I'm tired. She told the teachers this. She said, I know we always talk about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, but she said, why y'all not talking about Malcolm X? And so I think that she kind of got that from me just because, she see kind of how passionate I am about certain things, certain social justice things. And she would challenge the teachers like, no, you need to teach about Malcolm X. Like, Martin is good, Rosa Parks is good, but what about Malcolm? Malcolm did some great things for civil rights as well, and y'all not gonna forget Malcolm. And the class would kind of like rally behind him like, yeah, we know this is not the curriculum, but we need to think outside the box of curriculum, push the envelope. And I think she has a natural ability of that, pushing the envelope and taking it to another level.
A leader.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of leading, now that we, for those that don't know, that she's older than her siblings, you feel like she takes on the charge of being the older sibling as well, especially with the age gap?
Kind of, but I think she may have to grow into that a little bit more. I think, again, dealing with a blended family, you have to be very careful because you don't want, especially if the child not staying with you permanently. So me and her mom, we split custody as far as, she get her during the week, I get her the weekends, and sometimes we vice versa. Thanksgivings we share. We own a great understanding. So you have to be careful that when she come into the house that, like I say, she doesn't kind of feel isolated.
Right.
So at times I know she did feel isolated at first when Drew came, especially when Kennedy came. But I think as she grow older, I always tell her like, you're gonna be more like an auntie than a big sister, because they're gonna be like, you're gonna be picking them up from school and you're gonna be taking them to their practices. So they're gonna be looking at you like auntie sister versus then you big sister, because that's the role you're gonna have to take on, to be like an auntie figure.
I think she's really just enjoying having siblings.
Yeah.
Because she went that time frame with not having a sibling. So I think she's just really enjoying the fact that she has younger siblings. I don't think it's clicked in her head of the responsibility part of being an older sibling. Like Twan said, that I think it will come later. I think now that she's entering into high school, it'll eventually click with her. But right now, because she's not in the household permanently, when she comes over, and it's the same way with them too, it's like, it's just playtime. It's, it's more so like, let's have fun.
Right, but that's how they bond. That's awesome.
They have a great bond.
That's good. Well, speaking of home, what are some ground rules that you have at your home when Kimmy's over?
So because we are a blended family, and to kind of go back to the question that you asked, Twan, like, and he gave his perspective on it. If I had to give someone advice on how blended families should go, or some advice of how to be in a blended family, I would tell you, know your role. And so we got that established early on. Even before we got married, it's like I knew my place. And it might come off, that might sound bad. Somebody might receive, know your place. But no, it keeps peace. It keeps order. Just like the Bible says, order is needed for things. And so same thing in a blended family, order is needed. So I knew my place early on. And so when it came to ground rules, like we gave the rules together as a couple, but he would present them to Kimmy. And that's just the key. So she knows my place in the relationship, her place in the relationship. We have always come to the understanding that Twan will give out if it need to be discipline, if it needs to be correction, anything like that. And it's certain things that I know I can speak on,
right? But
like major things, I always let it come from him because he is her father and I'm not her biological mother. So, but that is definitely something I would say. Know your role in the relationship and stay in your lane. And I hope that he will be able to say, I know I stay in my lane.
Yeah, it's like, I allow her to be the good cop, I be the bad cop. That's just what it is. Like when I need to lay the hammer down, I lay the hammer down, and then Courtney could come in behind me and massage it up, build it up. Because, kids need to be broken down. Kids need, especially, teenagers. They need to be loved on at that early age, but when they become teenagers, you have to break them down because the real world is going to chew them up and spit them out. So what I do is I be the bad cop, Courtney come behind me, she be the good cop, and she has an open line of communication with her mom. So even some girl things that I just refuse to answer, and y'all ladies know what I'm talking about, there's certain girl things that I refuse to answer and refuse to even get involved with. I will let Kimmy's mom and Courtney had those conversations, right. And I'll take the step back, and knowing me as a man place that I just here to be supportive in that end, and I will be. Then you have two good cops,
right? Yeah,
versus me being a disciplinarian, which I definitely would take the role with the blended family with that.
And I want to say, like when he says be a good cop, it doesn't necessarily mean that I go against what he says. It's just that I'll put it in the way that to let her know where he was coming from, right. Because as women, we are emotional creatures. So sometimes his delivery can be harsh,
Right.
maybe to her or a child. So it's just like I come in and be like, this is what your daddy meant, or this is why you have to do it this way. Just so she knows, like, it has to be done,
Right.
but feelings don't have to be hurt, or you don't have to be.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like she's receptive to that? The good cop, bad cop? Do you feel like she's receptive to both of you or to the construct as a whole?
I think as much as a teenager will be.
Yeah.
I mean,
She didn't always agree.
yeah, and this is my first experience for a teenager. I have 3 more that I'm gonna have to experience, and they all gonna have 3 different journeys. But
personalities.
Yeah, and personalities, and I could tell my middle one from Courtney, she gonna be the worst. But that's here and there. So Kimmy, again, me being that's my first teenager. I allow her to have certain space that I won't intrude in, certain boundaries that I won't intrude in. But at the end of the day, if you living under my roof, I'm old school. I'm sorry, parents, I'm old school. I'm paying the bills. You go in that room and you can flick that power and that light come on and that cell phone has data on it. Nah. When you 18, you can do what you want to do. But as far as I'm paying these bills, I'm doing this, certain things are not negotiable. Clean room, not negotiable. Good grades, non-negotiable. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Wash your clothes when you old enough to learn how to wash clothes, non-negotiable.
Well, what's the consequences for that if she doesn't follow those rules?
Well, take phones. You don't, when you get to a certain age, you don't discipline as you discipline as they're younger. You don't like yell at them, or you don't be so forceful, because I believe, and this is just my parenting, I believe at a younger age you got to establish yourself as the parent. So as she got older, I didn't have to yell. You don't want to do what I want to do? I call Verizon. Go ahead and cut off that phone. So when she try to make a call to her friend, she get that what is that green instead of that blue, and she wonder why text message can't send, and then she comes, "Dad, my phone not working." I know, because your room not clean, or these clothes not washed, or you came in this house with a C. And so that was the deal. The deal is always you do what you're supposed to do, and Daddy gonna continue to do what he's supposed to do, and that's our dynamic.
All right. Now, we've been talking about this transition from her being a youth to being an adult now. Do you think you've become stricter as you have a teen now?
I think I became more
lenient?
Yeah, because I trust her more. She go to the park by herself. I mean, it's difficult for me. And then again, with it being blended, her mom allowed her to have more of that freedom. So I have to adopt that too. I can't just be this authoritarian when she come over here and just be this dictator and be like, "No, you're not doing what you're doing anymore." After school, she went to Zestos. And she was like, "Dad, Mommy let me do it all the time." I'm like, "Kim, I don't know about that. I don't trust you walking to Zestos from hand, because somebody might, in my mind, I'm thinking you my little baby girl, somebody might snatch you up." She's like, "Nah, I do this all the time." So, me, I rode the Zestos, and I was the way she couldn't see me, but I'll make sure that I be, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Yeah, that's fine, Dad. You could just be off to the side." And then she ran up to me with her friends, be like, "Dad, you gonna pay for my food?" I said, "Yeah, now you need me." So it made me feel, she threw me a bone. I gave her the card, and then she paid for all her friends' food, and whatever. But that was fine, because again, that's something I had to get adjusted to.
That's something that I come into play with as well.
Yes.
Letting him know, like, all right, let your guard down a little bit.
Release the reins
a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was that age at one point, and my daddy was the same way as him. And my mom had to be the let her go. Let her clip a wing, let her fly. So, and that's where I come in with him, like, it's going to be all right. And so now he has 2 other girls coming in. I'm like, I'm going to have to do it all over again.
This is training.
And that's what Kimmy was for me too. I tell people that about being in a blended family. Like, Kimmy was my training before I had my own biological children. So it's like blended families can sometimes get flack, but you always have to find the beauty in it. And so at first it was challenging. And it was because Twan was the first person I ever dated that had a child. So just getting accustomed to those things. But now that I look back on it, it was like, it was good preparation.
Well, we're going to wrap up here again. I have one more question, and then we're going to wrap up here. The relationship between you and Kimmy, you've already talked about it, but let's talk about your communication. how do you guys communicate? Do you feel like you have good communication, and do you feel like she feels comfortable coming to you for advice?
I mean, I would want more communication, but the pandemic, we had a different situation than most. That the pandemic, put a separation from us just because we had to take some extra precautions, okay? And most people who know us know our story. So I would want the communication to be better. She might even say she want the communication to be better on my end, but I expect her to communicate with me because I feel like she's old enough to do that at that age. Like when I was at a certain age, 15, 16, we didn't have cell phones and stuff. I think we had a cell phone, but everybody didn't have a cell phone. Yeah.
Definitely not the same.
I think I did have a cell phone at 15, but it wasn't everybody with a cell phone. But I made sure I communicated with my parents when I was out somewhere, did stuff like that. And even if I didn't, I made sure that somebody knew where I was at that time. Even when I was doing so, even if I, didn't always tell the truth, I still communicated, to give them that peace. And I would say that I wish that we can get back to that post-pandemic, because post-pandemic we had that good conversation. We just got to make an effort. It's going to take both of us to make that effort to make it better.
Okay. Well, awesome. I appreciate both of you for, spending time to share your story with us. And we look forward to seeing everyone at the reunion. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. I'm Sierra Artemis, and I'm joined by Kimmy Jackson. She is the daughter of youth pastor Antoine Jackson. Bridging the Gap, again, is just a conversation that we're having between teens and their parents just to kind of get a better understanding of their relationship. So thank you so much for joining me, Kimmy.
You're welcome.
Well, Kimmy, can you explain to our church members why we're playing volleyball?
It's a sport I play. I've been playing it for almost 3 years now, since I was 12, and I'm about to be 15 now, so yeah.
Okay. So are you thinking about playing volleyball in high school?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mention that. So Kimmy is going to be going to high school this year. So it's going to be a big transition from middle school. Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to get into the game. I don't really know much, but Kimmy's going to school me. Don't beat me too bad, okay? But before we get started, is there like a stretch or anything? Like, do I need to do a stretch or something? Like,
Just warm up your arms.
Oh, okay, because my back is already on fire. All right, we're gonna do something. We're not gonna do too much. Just a little light tap. All right, Kimmy. So, tell me a little bit about this game first before we get into our interview.
Okay, so normally in a game, so if we were in a game and we had all 6 players on the floor, you would serve from back there because this is called the inline. So if the ball goes out, it's dead. If the ball touches the line, it's still alive. So you start your serve from back of the line in a normal game.
Okay, so we're gonna simplify it since it's just the two of us.
Yes, we're gonna start right.
Definitely. So as far as our game is concerned, we're just not gonna get outside those lines, okay? And if I hit it and you don't hit it and you don't hit back, like what happens? Do I get a point? Yep. Okay. All right, boom. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. You serve. Oh, okay, just kidding. We're going to play and one volleyball, okay? And one volleyball. All right, well, Kimmy, we're going to continue to play, but I did want to go ahead and start rolling with our questions, okay? So how would you describe yourself?
I would say, I think I'm pretty smart in like the decisions I make, and I think I'm pretty like confident in all the choices I make in my life. So I would just say, like I'm just like a smart, ambitious person.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How do you think your dad would describe you?
Goofball.
A goofball. Okay. How would you describe your relationship with your dad?
It's really good. We talk about almost everything. There are some things that I like only talk about with my mom, and then I only talk about with my dad. But me and my dad, we like to talk about TV shows, books, and just like stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to serve now. All right. So
Okay.
do I just throw it up and just tap?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Should I hit with like the tip, palm, like?
Palm.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
Oh, you got me.
A point. Did you see that? So look. I guess. Look. All right, that was a warm-up one, so we're not gonna count that. It's a warm-up. You got your hit, I got my hit. We're warming up. Okay, all right. And you said you've been playing this for 3 years? What position do you play?
Outside.
Outside? So you're like on the defense.
I'm here. So if the setter's setting the ball, I'll get a nice set like this.
Oh, she thought she had me. Oh, she thought she had me. She thought she had me. They had us in the first half. Okay. All right. All right. One more serve. And then I'm going to ask some more questions.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that was out.
No, that's it.
It was a good one?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
But that serve's illegal.
Oh, it's illegal?
Yeah.
But did I get caught?
No. I don't see any refs.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and ask you a question. So, you are the oldest of 2 siblings, getting ready to be 3 siblings.
Yeah.
You excited about the new baby?
Yes.
3 girls. Y'all like the Powerpuff Girls now.
Yes.
You know who the Powerpuff Girls are?
Yes.
Okay, good. Whew, scared for a second. All right, awesome. How would you describe your dynamics with your siblings? I know you're the oldest, but how would you describe that dynamic?
Well, we're really far apart. Me and Drew are 10. Me and Kennedy 11, and then me and new baby are like 14 and a half. So we're pretty far apart, but I mean, it's kind of like we're still close, you know. They can talk,
Right.
They can walk. It's like still having someone my age. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Serve.
Okay.
Is it customary? Whew, can't kick it. It's not soccer. Is it customary to dribble before you, or is that just an instinct for you?
It's just like a way to just think for a second, because in volleyball it's not just you kind of serve. You have spots that you may want to serve to, seams you may want to serve to. So you're just like, okay, am I going to serve to 6? Am I going to serve to 1? Am I going to serve to 2? So you just think about that for a second, and then you can serve. Because volleyball is like a mental game. So like, if you're not ready, then your serve's definitely going to go into the net. And this net is like pretty short. It's just for me to practice. Real volleyball nets are like about this high.
This
like,
is a beginner net for me, so this is good for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that yet. All right. Well, I will tell you this. Fun fact. So my little sister and I are 13 years apart. I'm an age that I'm not going to disclose, and my sister is your age. And so I thought that we weren't going to be as close because of the age gap, but we actually are. Pretty cool. I'm not going to say not like my sister and I who are 2 years apart, my older sister, but I promise you, it's different, but it's about the same. But I think you're killing it, girl. How would you describe the difference between your home with your mom and when you're at your dad's house? Is your dad a little bit more, is there more rules at your dad's house? Is it more flexible, about the same?
It's more flexible at my dad's house because there's more of us, so we all kind of just like do our own thing. And then at my mom's house, it's just us 2. So the rules are a little bit like more, well, they're both pretty flexible, but I guess my mom is just like, we're more focused on each other because, at my dad's house, it's like all of us. So like we're all kind of just like doing our own thing.
Any rules? You got any chores at your dad's house that you don't?
I mean, I do my laundry.
You do your own laundry there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Would you say that the house rules at your mom's house or like your chores, are they the same or
They're about
different?
the same.
About the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I feel like it would, if my siblings were older, like if they were like maybe a year or 2 younger than me, we would share more chores, but they can't, so.
They gotta learn from the best. They gotta see how it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna serve. That felt good. So what's that called?
So that's a pass. So if someone is playing defense, a defense specialist, and she receives the ball, the setter is usually on the right side in the back row, and she'll come up and she'll set the ball to her pins or her middle, or the setter will already be front row and she can just set it to the middle or her outside pin. So what will happen is the other team will serve, pass. Well, I was supposed to pass there, and then the setter will come over here and set to the outside, and then the outside will be ready here to do our approach, like that.
Kimmy knows her stuff, y'all. Kimmy's offering coaching. She's coaching me right now. We'll talk about, how she coaches later. Give you her information. Make sure y'all have that. Okay. Do you think that your dad trusts you? I know you're getting ready to go to high school, so this transition is going to be different because after high school is college, and then basically you're an adult. Do you think that he's going to loosen the reins? Do you think your relationship is going to change at all? Is there any way that you think it can be stronger?
I think my dad's already pretty, like, he's not like super like hard on me about that stuff, and like he trusts me, and like if I just tell him where I'm going, he'll like just text me, and he knows I'll be fine. So he trusts me pretty well, and I think he'll have to like kind of let go for college because I want to go somewhere really far away.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to NYU.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be nervous?
No, I really like New York, and I'm going back in October. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Have you already started looking at the campus or anything?
Yeah, I've been to the campus when I was
Okay.
there. Yeah.
What were you want to major in?
Political science.
Political, okay. Poli-sci, that was my first major. Okay, all right. Trying to follow in the steps of your granddaddy. I see you, girl. I see you. You'll do great. You'll do great. Go ahead and serve. Oh, I keep hitting it. Should I just let it go?
You can pass it.
If I touch it, is it like basketball where I touch it, it's mine?
Yep, it's
Oh,
yours. I got the
goodness.
point.
Ooh.
And there's also different types of serves in volleyball. Like, it's not always like standing overhand. There's jump serve, there's a top spin, you can underhand serve if you're a beginner. So it's like different serves.
So like that one.
It's,
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do you, with the open
Yep.
wrist? Okay, okay. That's painful.
It was in.
It ain't been in? She was excited, like I haven't made anything. Nothing has been in so far.
Oh, it's been in. I was just surprised. I thought it was going way out. It like landed like right there.
Have you little faith in me? Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna show you one of the serves. I'm gonna show you a jump serve. So you just step, toss, and you jump.
Oh,
Like that.
I think my problem is I can't jump.
It's a little bit harder to receive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping track. I haven't been keeping track of this. All right. Do you think that your relationship with your dad, as far as like with your siblings, do you think I know your siblings are younger than you, and I don't know how far back you can go as far as what you remember, but you think that things are different with the younger siblings than they were with you, like things that you might not have gotten away with, they kind of get away with?
Yeah, because I'm the firstborn, so my dad was like new. But then with them, he's like, oh, Kimmy used to do this, it's fine. You know, like, so I think they get away with a little bit more stuff than I used to.
Okay.
So,
How would you describe your relationship with your stepmom?
oh, pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's always like this misconception because of Cinderella, evil stepmom, but no, I love my stepmom.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
My stepmom was like, when I was younger, she was like my friend. Like we would just like talk like, girl.
Oh yeah, my stepmom is my friend. Like I don't even like, really, like I call her Nana, cause like that's what I just call her. I don't really call her by her name. Like we're friends. Like we're best friends. So.
I love that. You have a nickname for her, so it's not like you're saying you don't call her by her first name. You're not. Do you tell people that you have two moms? Do you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. I usually say my dad, and then I have my real mom, and then I have my other mom, and like it's like that.
Okay. How do you think it's gonna be with the new baby? You gonna babysit?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
You excited for another baby? Did you like the baby phase?
No, I really did. Like I miss when Drew. He was so small. Yeah.
How did you feel becoming a sibling? Because I know you remember that, because it wasn't too long ago. How did you feel when you found out you're having a sibling?
I was so happy. It was so boring being an only child for like 10 years, and I was like really, really happy that Drew was born. And I was still in elementary school when Drew was born, so yeah.
Boy, time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast. I think that's dope, though. So what are some things that you guys do for bonding? Like, how do you guys bond?
Well, I usually just like kind of just like play with them as they would like play with each other. So like toys, watching TV together, like playing tag in the backyard, like getting swimming and stuff like that. So just like stuff they would do, like as if they were playing with each other. So.
Okay. We're going to circle back to Dad again. Is there anything that you feel like your dad just doesn't get?
I guess because, well, I guess like age, I guess, because my dad is older. He doesn't really understand like that, like sometimes he thinks I'm still like super young. So like he's like, oh, kids your age do that? Oh, I thought, oh, wait, oh my God, you're actually like 14. Like sometimes he forgets that, and I'm like, yeah.
And you know what, Kimmy? You brought up a very, very good point. I think a lot of times that miscommunication and that disconnect comes because a lot of times it's really hard for you to see your child grow up and mature. You still mentally, there's still this baby. So it's really hard for them to kind of want to let go and let you do your own thing because, again, like you said, there's things they don't understand that you can do because they still think you're a baby. Do you feel like that is one of the disconnects with youth and parents, like between teens and their parents?
Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes parents can like be like overprotecting, and they still kind of have in their mind like, why am I like letting my 9-year-old go to this hangout party or whatever? But then I feel like their kids have to remind them sometimes like, I'm like in high school now, I'm older now, I can like handle myself, you know?
Do you have those conversations with your dad?
Not really with my dad, more with my mom. Yeah.
Do you feel like, and I guess it just depends on the relationship, your relationship with your dad, you feel just a little bit more closed off, but because you live in the home with your mom, you feel like that makes a difference, like as far as your communication, just not being in the same home?
A little bit, yeah.
How often do you talk on the phone? Do you talk on the phone?
Me and my
often or
dad?
text? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
How often? Is it different from when you were younger?
Yeah, it was different from when I was younger because now I do a lot of volleyball. Like it's like constant every day. I'm going to practice and I'm going to training, and I'm just like constantly like working for like volleyball. So I don't have like a lot of time to like communicate with my dad, and then I also go to like a lot of like volleyball camps, and I'm like always in camp and stuff. So during the school year I talk to him more, but during the summer I don't talk to him as often.
What steps do you think that you could take to make sure that you and your dad keep that door of communication open?
I guess just like always reminding myself that I need to like kind of like just like keep up with our relationship and making sure it stays strong. So I guess just like reminding myself that I have to do that, you know, because I love my dad. So.
Yeah. Especially since you're getting ready to go to high school. You're going to get real busy, girl. It's going to be all types of clubs. I'm not talking about the party ones. I'm talking about like organization clubs in school that you might want to get involved with that might take up a little bit more of your time than you did when you were a kid. When you're a kid, you do what your parents tell you to do. But then once you get older, you start to create your own schedule and it fills up. You have to check your Palm Pilot. You know what a Palm Pilot is?
Wait, no.
You know what a cassette tape is?
No.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to add about your relationship with your dad?
No.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Kimmy, thank you so much for sharing your insight
You're welcome.
from a teen's perspective. Looking forward to our reunion.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Bridging the Gap series. We thank you all for joining us again on tonight. My name is Elder Eric Freeze Cameron. We are right here at Bible Way Church of Atlas Road on tonight. We have some very, very special guests with us. I'm going to let the guests introduce themselves on tonight, starting with my far left. Go ahead, introduce them, brother. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, Elder Freeze. How you doing today? I'm Youth Pastor Antoine Jackson. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate y'all being here.
I'm Minister Courtney Jackson.
I'm Kimmy Jackson.
Kimmy. It's good to see you, Kimmy. All right. Thank you all for joining us, but you know, your family. So we just got a few questions for tonight about Bridging the Gap. I know a little bit about you all as y'all have been extended family to me over the years. We're going to start with a question about your daughter and her personality. She's growing. We've seen her growing since she was yay high and that old. So what are some of the things you guys notice about her personality from when she was a child to now and the age and development she's in?
I'll let Courtney go first.
And you guys can talk about things you like or maybe would like to see change, however you want to respond to the question.
Gotcha.
Well, I came into Kimmy's life, I want to say, when she was about 5, probably going on 6. And so just to see her literally grow and transform and from a child until a teenager, I always say that Kimmy is the spotlight child. Like, when she's in the spotlight, it's on. She's making sure she's grasping your attention, that all eyes are on her, and you can see her manyest talents come out. And she's also determined. So whatever she does, because she's done several sports and extracurricular activities, even in her scholastics, she's always made sure like she puts her mind to it, and she's going to get it done, and she's going to get it done to the best of her ability. So even though I came in in her life as a child, she's kept that same mindset, kept that same attitude, but matured. But she's always stuck to that. I can say that's one thing I know she has been consistent with.
Amen on that. Dad, do you think she's got some of your personality traits?
Of course. She's the firstborn. She has been blessed to have what we call the Jackson stubbornness. But it's stubborn in a good way, though. Yeah. It's stubborn where it's like she can go to school and she can, be who she is, and she don't need anybody to validate her. She validates herself. She knows her worth. She knows her God. She knows her family. She knows exactly everything that she's supposed to know, that we invest in her daily. So she has that trait, and we definitely I definitely agree with Courtney. She is very determined. She is very determined. She is very outgoing. She can go up to a stranger and make friends with a stranger. She probably got that from me. Yeah. So she is very smart. Things come to her very quickly. Like even as a child, I can remember she would watch like Dora the Explorer, and she'd be reciting some Spanish words very quickly, like catch on very quickly. And I just think that's a gift. That's a gift from God, that you're able to just like catch on faster than probably the normal child would catch on. So she has those traits. She has those attributes.
Amen. The beautiful thing about the description both of y'all give is y'all seen so many of the same things in her. And Kimmy, that means they're paying attention to you, right? So how do you feel about their response? And what else do you know about your personality as yourself that you think has changed over the years?
I agree with them. I think I'm pretty determined, and I think you would say like ambitious. I think I'm pretty determined and ambitious, and I think I always have been. And it's not only I push myself, it's my parents who push me. So I think I am that way because of my parents. So
that was the perfect answer, because that was what I was getting to, because I feel like again, you've had a good support system, and you're showing that it's really helpful. It's really working out. So we're all proud of you. And so moving right along, we kind of want to break the ice some, get some real responses. So how do you feel about the rules at Dad's house versus when you're at home? Do you think Dad's more strict, or do you think he's more lenient, or what do you feel? How do you think?
I don't think either of my parents are like strict. Like,
oh, you don't?
No.
Oh.
No. I was just talking to my dad in the car yesterday when I was going to a dinner party, and he was like, does your mom let you do this? And he was like, oh, well, you are in 9th grade now. So I was like, yeah. So they're like both pretty lenient, I would say. So I would say the rules don't really like differ that much. They're kind of similar. So, yeah.
Okay, that's the beautiful thing. Again, I keep saying beautiful because all this is beautiful to me. Is that when you say neither one of your parents, you don't feel like that? I can't think of a child I've ever really heard say that one of their parents or both of them weren't just super strict. And so that also speaks of you accepting their discipline and their challenges that they put in on your life, whatever season of your life was. So that was great. So do y'all feel like y'all should be more strict or more lenient, or you're right where you're at when it comes to parenting, when it comes to Kimmy?
I will say this: I was not expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I
wasn't
said.
expecting that answer. And the reason I say that is because just being married to my husband and seeing the interaction between them two at times. Sometimes I might feel like, man, you could lighten up a little bit, but I know what it is for a good reason. Yeah. So it makes me feel good that I might perceive it as strict, but she perceives it as it's okay. So that kind of like, oh, okay, well, he's doing a good job. Not that I ever doubted him, but you know, just someone from the outside looking in, it might look like, oh, he's being strict. And some, daddies are sometimes stricter, but I know that really goes with the males and not the females. But I just want to say
that's a whole nother conversation, but you're right.
But as far as discipline, he handles discipline, so I'll let him. I just want to say I was shocked at that answer.
Well, I think what happened is, I think as she got older, the rules may have gotten less, as far as because Courtney has really helped me with this too, about hovering over her and making sure that you basically make sure she's doing everything right, or you overprotective. But as she said, she went to a dinner, I dropped her off, and I was like, it hit me. Man, I have a 9th grader.
Well, y'all got to pray for me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, because I'm like, I'm not dropping you off nowhere where you're not, daddy is not making sure you straight, and making sure that I got my eyes on you at all time, because it's a crazy world out there. But as she get older, I would say, I'm getting a less detached. Not like say our relationship is getting detached, but I have to let her grow up and let her experience things for herself, knowing what I put in her is going to manifest.
Yeah, I'm praying for you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's hard, bro. It's hard. So, I mean, I think she's saying that in the season that she in right now, and she probably don't even remember like the times where I had to be like firm with. She probably do vaguely, but right now it's probably she's basing it on what she's experiencing right now as a teenager. But when she's younger, I mean, daddy had to lay down I had to lay down the law.
We remember.
Yeah, you got to lay down the law, man. And for any parent out, they know that you have to separate parent from like friend. We can be great, best of friends and all that, but at the end of the day, I'm still your father.
Yes.
So daddy got to lay down the law. There's no difference from your relationship with God. God is your father, but y'all might have some like friendship talks, and you might approach to him, like a friend, and he might treat you like a friend. But when it's time for him to lay down the law, the law is the law.
No respect of person.
Yeah, I gotta lay down the law,
yeah.
and it's good for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good medicine.
Amen. Come on, y'all showing out now. All right. So Kimmy, what are some of the things you enjoy doing when you're with the family? This is leading into the next question, so go ahead.
Okay, so me and my dad have this like tradition, like Marvel movies every Monday. Not every Monday, but just like every Monday. That like if a Marvel movie came out that Friday, we'll go see it that Monday. So, and in the evening or any time of the day. So we have like that tradition. Like we just saw Love and Thunder, and it was really good on a Monday. So
I haven't seen that one yet.
And then me and my dad, we like to talk about politics a lot. Yeah.
Let us pray for Courtney too.
Future president over there. FYI.
Yeah, but we like to talk about politics and a lot, like movies, politics, music, and stuff like that.
Okay, that's good. So, Courtney, this same question, but in the sense of with Dad and Kimmy, do you like Marvel movies? Like, what do you enjoy doing when you all are together?
No.
I do not.
No.
So, what do you all do together that you all enjoy doing?
Well, I will say the thing that I love for us to do, because I'm a family person, so to see her when she does come over to our house, to see her interaction with her siblings, I love that.
Yes.
Because it's just
Priceless.
it's like it's priceless. The whole atmosphere changes. Their faces light up. She gets excited. They love that. So when we are all together downstairs, just us sitting on the couch, maybe just watching them interact, I love that because I've always wanted a big family of my own. So it's just to see God bless and see it actually start to manifest itself.
Yes.
It's something that just does something to my heart.
Yeah, on the inside.
COVID kind of put a damper on some things as far as what we probably could have done and would have done. So we're just now getting back into the groove of things now that things are, the world is opening back up. But
thank you, Lord.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. So traveling will be in our future. I know it will. And then just seeing Kimmy in high school and participating in sports. So just being able to go to do family events, our family get back together for our family events that we do, like cookouts and things like that. Those are the things that I love for all of us to do because it just makes our relationship and our bond stronger.
Yes.
So.
That's why I love seeing y'all sitting up in the balcony together.
Prayerfully, I'm glad we get released from the balcony.
But no, that's another thing that, when we all together, we enjoy it. I mean, ministry.
Yes, sir.
I mean, like we celebrated our youngest daughter. She had to celebrate her birthday on a ministry event, and we was all together. And what she went through on that day, Kimmy know all about that. Kimmy had to celebrate many of her birthdays on her in church or in ministry.
Yes, sir.
And it's just a part of it. And like Courtney said, I think the vacation stuff is what we all can do together. Because if you talking about like movies and TV and politics, definitely like her granddaddy and her uncle and myself, politics, and Courtney and my mom, no politics. So they don't want nothing to do with that. So that gets into separation. But the vacations, swimming in the swimming pool, cookouts and stuff like that. We go support her at her volleyball games, stuff like that. I remember they used to come to my basketball games when I was coaching. Stuff like that. When that's where you get the family togetherness more than the individual what you like to do.
Yeah, I love hearing these responses because in everybody's response, regardless of the place or the thing you were talking about doing, you're saying you enjoy being around each other, and that's what family is all about. And so we're talking about bridging the gap. I'm gonna start with Kimmy and then get y'all's response to this.
Can I say one more
Yes,
thing?
go ahead.
Okay, so I know I said I did some things with my dad, but I didn't really talk about what I do, things like with Courtney, with like me and her.
Yeah, talk about the girl stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like with my dad, it's more like stuff like I feel like he would do with his son.
Yeah, come on, tell the truth now.
But like me and Courtney, like we like to gossip. Well, like what
I
goes
know
on
y'all
with
like
like
to talk.
me.
I understand.
Like and like I'll tell her stuff that I don't tell my dad. And and we talk.
I don't want to know.
Yeah,
Secret safe with me.
Yeah, and then we talk about stuff like clothes, like opinion on clothes, and like nails and like stuff like that. TV shows, yeah, that we like.
That is so awesome. So you get to get the one-on-one time with Dad and with Courtney, and y'all all have several interests that y'all can participate in together.
Yeah.
That's super cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all giving me hope for when the babies get older.
Yeah.
So, Kimmy, we want to start with you on this next question. How does it feel being so much older than your siblings?
Well, with Kennedy, it kind of feels like she's 14 too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't really feel like she's 3. It kind of feels like she's 14 too. So, it kind of feels the same with her. But like with Drew, he's feels like he's 4 with him.
You feel like that's
'cause
your
Drew's,
little brother.
Yeah, he's calmer, and like he's like, I don't know, he's just more like a toddler. Yeah.
And you said
So-
Kennedy grown.
Oh yeah, she's 14.
She's looking at her, and Kennedy is looking at a mirror.
Yeah.
So she's staring at somebody who, that resembles her personality.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's cool, because I wanted to go to you two next. Respond however you want. What are some of the changes that have taken place over the amount of time in the gap since Kimmy's been grown, and then having Drew, and then having Kennedy? I'm sure there were some mindsets and maybe some old habits or things we might have thought were okay that kind of changed within that time frame. There was some years. We not old. I'm not claiming that now. But, there was some years between Kimmy and then having your next child. So what do you feel like changed during that time?
I think as for me, as a father, I'm more seasoned. So some of the mistakes I made with Kimmy that she wouldn't know because she was a baby. So it's mistakes that I did when she was a baby that, only God knows, honestly, and probably like my father and mother. Courtney, when she got older, when she's like, say 5 and 6, she knows some things I was not as good as I am with the other two right now. So I would say that what Kimmy did is she prepared me to be even better father to my next two, because now I know the do's and the don'ts. I know like how to respond a little bit more patiently, because when you're younger, as you said, when you're younger, you very impatient. And you get frustrated faster. So now I know I have more, I would say, a calming spirit about, okay, if Drew doing this, I know, okay, I seen this before, God. I seen this episode before.
He's helping us to be quicker to listen and slower to speak.
Exactly, yeah. Bro. And then you're older, so you're more mature. So definitely. But like I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for Kimmy coming to my life, I probably wouldn't have had Drew or Kennedy. Because if it wasn't for Kimmy helped mature me, that I understood that I had a greater purpose on this earth. Because you know this, bro. Everybody know my testimony. I was wilding, and I thought, the only reason I wanted a child at that time just to leave a legacy, because I didn't think I was gonna make it to 25. So I was like, I need to leave a legacy. I need to leave somebody behind. But then God showed me like, nah, that wasn't just to leave a legacy. That was to fulfill your legacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm leaving a legacy, and now she's gonna help you fulfill your legacy and put you on the right path, and do what you're supposed to do. So I would say patience. The biggest thing for me is, Kimmy have taught me patience to be with my other children.
And Courtney, that's why I said I know you might not have been there when Kimmy was born, but you've been in her life long enough now to see a difference between, and then you're being the because 1, 2, and then you got 3 on the way. I know there's some things that changed for you. So
a lot has changed, but I always tell Kimmy, and anytime I have to give another bonus mom advice, I always tell them, like, Kimmy was my training ground. So it was a blessing in disguise. How some people might look at being with someone with a child that's not biologically yours, they might look at it as some negatives to it. But to me, it was a blessing because she trained me to be a mother to my biological children. So I got to, kind of similar to what Twan said, like, I got to learn, like, this doesn't work, or this is how a child reacts in this situation. Even though I came in, maybe missed the infant stage of her, but my children are now closer to the age that I came into her life with. So she really got me prepared as to being responsible for someone else other than myself. Just how to your mindset has to change when it comes to children, because at the end of the day, they are fully dependent on you. So you have to be there and be present at all times. And so also, I always dreamed to have a daughter. So it was like, I got one before I even carried my own. So, and like Twan said, with Kennedy, they share such similar personalities, and now that Kennedy can talk, I feel so bad for Kimmy, because Kennedy wears sister. She wear it out, but it also warms my heart because I'm like, she really admires her sister. So it's a beautiful thing to see how things have changed over years and how they will continue to change, because all three children will, and when four comes, they will all continue to grow and get older, and just to watch. And our parenting will have to shift, because I told people, some of my friends yesterday, I have had to eat so many words that I said I was not going to do. But the generations have changed. So things that I said I wouldn't do as a parent, I've kind of had to shift. And Kimmy was the beginning to see that. Like, I remember, what age did Kimmy get a phone?
A phone?
Yeah.
Like elementary school.
Yeah, and I said I would never.
4th, 5th grade?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I said my child not getting a phone till I got a phone. But to see how Twan had to push that decision sooner because of the time of the situation. So she's helped me to let some of those things go and see what's important and what's not important, and see what the purpose of things having to change. So good preparation.
Come on, man. Y'all showing that up in here, man. I'm enjoying this. So as we get ready to wrap this up, I got this question for all of y'all. I'm gonna start with Kimmy again. So you're in high school now.
Pray for me.
Yeah. So as you're entering into high school, looking for the future, what are some of the things that you would like to see for yourself, for you to do, like dreams or passions you may want to see? And then how do you think your parents can help you achieve that?
Well, going into high school, it's really like, for me, it's like a preparation for college. So the whole time I'm like in high school, I'm like, okay, how is this going to affect me getting into college? How is this going to help me get into college? Get into the college I want, And how is this going to like help me do good in college? So, and I just like, expect good grades as always, having a lot of extracurriculars and, yes. And I think my parents could just like keep doing what they're always doing, just like constantly pushing me to like be the best that I can, and like just constantly reminding me that I have to stay on it. Like I was telling my dad the other day about like all the AP classes I have to take in high school so I can keep my like weighted GPA, and he was like, well yeah, and then he was like, okay, well you have to do this and you have to do that. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, man. Man, from a baby to just awesomeness.
Up,
yeah. So, parents, as you're hearing that, how do you feel you could help her? Like she said, you're already doing a great job. What are some of the things you can feel like you can help her understand as she's moving through high school, getting ready to go to college? I know you went to Claflin, correct?
Claflin, yeah.
You didn't go to college, right, bro? Or did? Oh yeah,
several colleges.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Forgive me. Yes, sir. So again, just going through high school, what are some of the things y'all would want to share with her as she's getting prepared to work towards college?
Go first, man.
Okay. College was my absolute favorite time of my life. I always tell people if I had to rewind back a little bit, take me back to college. College was fun, but high school was also like the monumental part, because just what Kimmy said, it got you ready for college. And so what I would tell her is, looking back on the things that I did in high school that I felt like I could have done better, that's what I would make sure I would advise her or instill in her. Is my 9th grade year, I went in as a JV cheerleader. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was all about cheerleading, and I neglected my academics. My mom gave me a warning. I pulled it up a little bit, not high enough for her liking, and she snatched it from me, because she had to prove to me that your books come first, all this other stuff comes second. So I would make sure she's involved in volleyball. I would tell her, you love volleyball, and I love cheerleading. That thing hurt my heart. I loved it. So you love volleyball, so make sure you love your books just as much as you love volleyball, so you could continue to do those things. And when you make good grades and when you put your mind first, because I know she's always putting her mind to whatever she does, she's going to get it done. But things get more challenging in high school. So I just believe in keeping it real too. Like, things come easy to you, but you're going to be challenged, but I know she can do it. So just making sure I'm honest with her, but pushing her and making sure that she stays focused and encouraging her, because their generation, to me, they need a little little TLC than what we might have got as growing up. Yeah, so
What's
just
TLC?
Tender love and care.
Oh.
So
T-Ball's left eye.
but just making sure those things, just pushing her, but also making sure back and get up with that love to just this is the time when it counts. You want to get into a certain school, this is the time where people get involved as much as stuff you can handle. Don't overpressure yourself, don't overdo it. But a good resume is good. It makes you a well-rounded person, but it also helps when it comes to school preparation. So those are just the things that I did in school. And it worked for me. So I would just tell her to do the same, but do it. Don't try to do it like me. Don't try to do it like her dad. Don't try to do it like her mom. Do it in her Kimmy fashion, which she always does. So just encouraging that.
Yeah, for me, and like she said, I just continue to push her. Like I told her, too much is given, much is required. So if God has given you this gift to, like Courtney said, to be, very bright.
Line.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's the truth, though. You have to understand that if God gives you these extraordinary gifts, that He's also going to give you extraordinary assignments. And as she said, AP classes. I told her I barely did CP.
You
I barely qualified for CP.
That's the fire.
Yeah. For all y'all, that's college prep. I barely qualified for CP. I told her, you AP?
I think I only had two.
Exactly. She told me, she said that going into the 9th grade, she already taking geometry as a 9th grader. I was like, hold up, you skip algebra. Dad, I took algebra in 8th grade. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm telling her, like, listen, these things are coming to you as they are coming to you, and you are succeeding in these things. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder, and it's going to get tougher. So your focus level has to even be more, sharper than it was in middle school. And you have to understand that your ambition, as she said she's very ambitious. If you're going to be very ambitious, you have to hone in on that goal, that vision that you have for yourself, and you have to separate yourself from everybody. When they doing this and they doing that, if you trying to be the next president of the United States, trust me, if you trying to be the next CEO, or, she want to be a lawyer, corporate lawyer, and you want to make all the money, you might can't have as many friends as the person who just want to just be, no offense, but they just want to be a lay person or be something.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's
yes,
different,
sir.
man. So I would tell her just to, go for what you want, stay focused, and understand that if you dream big, you got to work big. That's just come with it, and that's basically. And Daddy here, Courtney here, her mom's here, we all here, her grandparents are here, her brothers and sisters are here to support and love her, and we want to see her to do exactly what she's supposed to do.
Hey man, I don't know when I came up with an acronym, but y'all put it like into a picture on tonight. Family means forget about me, I love you.
I like that, bro.
And it was just awesome to be able to sit down and discuss everything with you all. So thank you so much to our youth pastor and his family, his lovely wife and his lovely daughter that's making me feel old, because I remember when she was a baby. Hey, man, we thank y'all so much. To everybody who tuned in, we thank you. We love you so very much for being with us during the Bridging the Gap series, and we'll see you next time.
We'd like to thank each of you for tuning in to our broadcast and for joining us in person. If you desire prayer, please call 1-888-776-1238. There are many safe, secure, and easy ways to give to Bible Way Church of Atlas Road. Online giving is available to both members and guests through My Connections at bwcar.org. You can choose to give through your bank, checking, debit, or savings account. You can give via our mobile giving app by texting BWCAR along with your giving amount to 73256. You can mail your check to P.O. Box 90309, Columbia, South Carolina 29290. Please do not mail cash. Financial donations will also be accepted at the church on Tuesdays from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. There'll be someone there to pray for and with you. If you feel as if this service was a blessing to you, or if you were moved by the message in any way, please be sure to share it with your family and friends. For additional announcements and for more information, be sure to visit our website. That's bwcar.org.